Interior, Washington, D.C., Congressional Chamber, Day. Title card, Joint Committee on Un-American Activities, 1923. The all-white committee members stare quizzically at Walter, standing, and Jim, sitting quietly. Some stifle yawns.
You're saying that you, Mr. White, have seen these incidents firsthand.
Lynchings,
As they happened, sir?
the aftermath, yes.
You.
Walter waits patiently, knowing what surely comes next.
What are you?
I'm a Negro. The committee members take that in, amazed faces. A senator with a southern drawl speaks out.
Son, lynchings stem from Negroes brutally raping our white women.
A convenient fiction. Rather, my investigations have revealed truly shocking brutality. A pregnant Georgia woman was tied to a tree and burned alive. Upon her death, the depraved mob split her open. Her precious newborn child took his first breath, still attached to his mother's umbilical cord, and fell to the unyielding southern shore. They stomped its brains out. Passers-by found the poor woman later. She had worn a pretty dress. Even in death, she was still clutching the hem to protect her modesty.
Be careful what you seek, Mr. White. Without that depraved mob, as you call it, standing between our fair southern women and a bestial, rapacious horde, the world just might witness the annihilation of the Negro race.
Senator, please apprise your colleagues of the real reason for your full-throated support of such savagery.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
White Southern males, since the time of slavery, have availed themselves of black females. What you're all truly on about is that sexual attraction across the color line runs both ways.
I don't have to listen to
The gentleman senator will sit.
The result of your most recent investigation, Mr. White?
A Negro protecting his wife.
Do you love America, sir?
I'm a Negro in America. I'm conscious, and I'm enraged.
That's not what I asked.
Walter touches the American flag pin on his lapel. Oddly enough, I do love America. Despite its often lethal hostility to us, any Negro, including myself, will stand proudly and salute a flag symbolic of a country that has yet to live up to its own ideals. Isn't that funny? He walks back to the table and regards the committee behind a plastic smile. Interior, Walter's Harlem brownstone night. Gladys cuddles newborn Pidge, a white baby boy with blonde hair and blue eyes like Walter's. He's fussy.
I know. My little pigeon's hungry.
She comforts him at her breast. Their daughter, Jane, 5, sleeps soundly nearby. Gladys chances a hopeful glance at her husband. Walter is turned away, fully immersed at a typewriter.
Pidge. You like that name?
Sorry, what?
He reminds me of a little pigeon. We'll call him Pidge.
Nonsense. We'll call him Walter Jr. Interior, Walter's Harlem brownstone, 1931, night. A celebration. Walter holds court before NAACP brass and Harlem Black elite.
To Walter Francis White, the new executive secretary of the NAACP.
Champagne toasts and cheers. Beside him, Gladys downs her champagne, gloomy, deep in thought. Walter leans over and hugs Gladys. She smiles wanly.
Congratulations, sweet love.
It's for you, the children, all Negroes and their children.
Of course. I'll see after hours.
Are you all right? Gladys doesn't answer, melts into the crowd. Du Bois walks up, regards Walter coldly. Dr. Du Bois, I'm honored.
You've excelled for the NAACP and Negroes in general. Your promotion, however, came over my expressed objections to the board.
Was it my suit?
You're of the delusion that Negro identity and American identity are one and the same. You're wrong.
I respectfully disagree. So are millions of Negroes.
You're too young, too inexperienced to lead a national organization like this.
You're too jaded to foresee the future. Times are changing.
Brace for the whiplash when times change back. It's a pressure cooker. You'll break.
I just spent years in a pressure cooker. There were some cracks, but I never broke. Du Bois moves off in a huff. Across the room, a young, raven-haired white woman, Poppy Cannon, 25, with hair down to her shoulder blades, slams a shot, casting eyes Walter's way more than once. Nearby, Jim spies the tail end of Walter's tense exchange with Du Bois. He approaches, curious.
What was that all about?
A battle for another day. Raucous laughter nearby. Walter locks eyes with Poppy, waylaying him with her radiant smile. She slams a shot, then glides out onto a balcony. That woman with the dark hair.
Never know who you're likely to meet at Harlem's White House.
But who is she?
Happy. No. Hippie. She's a South African socialite, magazine editor. New breed of independent woman. I don't recall her name.
Perhaps I should find out. Bedroom hallway, same time. Gladys walks towards the children's rooms, the sounds of Walter's party receding. She notices a Miss Modern magazine on a settee and picks it up. Flipping idly through, she stops at a full-page spread titled Modern Women for Negro Rights. Excitement erases Gladys's air of resignation. She looks back the way she came, sees Walter and all his well-wishers. Her excitement slowly, inexorably fades. Gladys drops the magazine into a wastebasket and turns the other way to see little Jane, wiping the sleep from her eyes. Gladys hums a soulful melody and leans Jane into her room. Balcony. Walter steps out. Poppy turns to him, candlelight sparkling in her eyes. A vibrant woman of the world. And that smile. Walter reaches out a tentative hand and shakes hers.
Walter, a pleasure.
Am I a curiosity?
Excuse me.
Is it your agenda to marvel at my skin tone? Everyone does.
I marvel as I admire. No agenda.
Are you married?
Don't believe in it.
Love is not a viable agenda?
When it's useful to me.
I take that to mean when men are useful to you.
Sometimes. You, for example. I'm Poppy Cannon. I'm a journalist.
So I hear.
I want to interview you.
I can't wait. Personal or business?
Let's find out.
The sooner the better. Interior NAACP headquarters. Walter's office, Harlem, day. New Executive Secretary Walter White stares at an immense stack of documents piled high on his desk. Walter unfurls a huge banner that reads, "A Negro was lynched yesterday." Heroes Hallway. Later, Walter turns out into the hallway lined with portraits, of Negro luminaries. He lights a cigarette and notices a dapper, bespectacled young black man with a pipe, Roy Wilkins, 26, gazing at the portraits. Inspiring, aren't they? When I arrived years ago, this hallway was a drab, dusty tribute at best.
Thank Christ. Been out here all day waiting for your grand entrance. People were starting to talk, boss man.
Boss man, who are you?
Roy Wilkins, sir. Your new assistant. Fresh off the plantation. If Minnesota had plantations.
Yes. Jim hired you.
Mhm.
I can see why. Come with me. The anti-lynching bill may fail due to politics. In that event, civil rights will need to go national. What's your opinion? Roy, is it?
It's about time you asked. Supreme Court just died. Man they chose to replace him is John Parker, a conservative. He gets in, we're dead as ham hocks. Could set us back decades, sir.
Ready to change the world, Roy?
Yeah.
Draft a telegram to all 177 NAACP branches to petition their senators to vote against the Supreme Court nominee, John J. Parker of North Carolina. Exterior, Washington Correspondence Bureau, night. A news article drops on a white news correspondent's desk. The phrases Negro disfranchisement and Negroes a source of evil and danger, highlighted and underlined, as quoted by Supreme Court nominee John J. Parker. Exterior, Baltimore NAACP headquarters, day. Walter mans a smoking barbecue pit. He speaks animatedly before several dozen Negroes. Pinned to a nearby tree, a large flyer of Judge Parker with a red no smeared in paint over his face. Exterior, Washington Square Park, Manhattan, day. Walter addresses a mixed crowd in a classy suit. He holds up a large photograph of Judge Parker and rips it in half to thunderous applause from the Negroes. Charging in from the perimeter of the crowd, Manhattan's finest converge on Walter's position. Without word or reason, the cops cuff him and lead him away to a chorus of boos. Interior, NYPD, 19th Precinct Jail, night. Walter's behind bars, still in his classy suit. His visitor, Poppy Cannon, stands outside his jail cell, scribbling furiously into a notepad.
Wait, Negroes in Baltimore really use the campaign flyers of Judge Parker as napkins? They wipe their asses with it too.
Are you always so direct?
I'm from South Africa, and a different breed of woman. My readers will love this.
It's the first time the NAACP has united Black America behind the cause.
And so, you did it. You won. Roosevelt will nominate a judge more friendly to your constituents. They're calling you Mr. NAACP.
Mr. Jailbird is currently more accurate.
You're in the big leagues now. But you have doubts?
Full of them. Some days I doubt I have it in me to do this. On the other hand, I'm descended from a president. Who, other than me, can speak truth to that kind of power? Poppy gazes at him, taken in by him. Her eyes move to his patriotic lapel pin. She snickers.
Fucking Americans.
She moves closer, reaches for Walter's face through the cell bars, smooths his pitiful mustache with her thumb.
Cut this awful mustache, please.
My mustache? It's a manly thing.
Doesn't suit the men you are.
I've never met a woman like you.
Brilliant to see you laugh. You need to live a little. Your life must be torture.
All those years investigating in the South, going undercover became a ritual. The fear, the anger, your body moves to it, reacts to it. Every day a dance with death. And I liked it. It's the torture I'm most familiar with. A deputy enters the hallway and unlocks Walter's cell.
Walter White, under charge for unlawful assembly or some shit. Your bail's come through. Get out.
Who paid his bail?
The National Association for Niggers, of course.
He spits into an empty cell and disappears the way he came. Walter steps out, grateful to be free. Poppy lays a hand on his chest.
Let me show you something better.